So this is our fern house. In here we have lots of ferns, but we keep shade cloth over the top of it all year, even in the winter. Ferns are a good low light plant to keep in your house. With watering, they like more moisture. So if you have a problem with overwatering your succulents, I would recommend maybe trying ferns, growing those in your house. Um, they do enjoy a little bit more moisture.
So I see we've got some gum cane here. Is that a good house plant?
Yeah, it is. It does very well with low light. It also can do well with drying out. You want it in the winter, especially. You want to let the plants dry out completely before watering them again. They will wilt. You actually have some wilt from overwatering. I just moved that one out of a shady corner and it was getting dripped in. So if you have a wilty plant, it doesn't necessarily mean it needs water. It might have dried out at some point and then is overwatered. So if it's wilty, it's not necessarily dry. But if the soil's dry and the plant starts to wilt, that's a good time to water it this time of year. Just let them tell you when they want to be watered.
So sometimes it can be a case of over retention.
Yes. Yeah. Too much water.
Too much of a good thing.
And then oxygen leaves. There's no room for oxygen in the soil, and the plants suffocate essentially. So, another cool thing in here we have are cycads. We have 3 cycads. They're considered a living fossil. These cycads are probably 80 to 100 years old. This greenhouse is 75 years old, and I believe when they were brought in here, they were small, but these take a very long time to grow. So these are very old, expensive plants that we house in here.
They're kind of museum pieces in a way.
Yeah, in a way they are. They're very, very cool. And they will produce cones, a giant orange cone every year. It's very neat to see it. I propagated one.
Now, one question I had, and this is more of a general question for the greenhouse and for people keeping indoor plants at home. What's the general temperature inside the greenhouse here?
Right. 70 to 75 degrees is where we typically like to keep it. Most tropical plants won't die down to 50 degrees, but we don't want them to suffer, so we keep it at a nice 70, 75. If you have ferns and you're growing them in the home, you could use an enclosed terrarium, which are amazing because they kind of just keep their own moisture in there and cycle it out, so you can water it once a month and it can stay moist. Because this time of year, we don't have high humidity, and keeping a fern moist can be a little daunting.
And a lot of just in general tropical plants, I think, but in here it might be a little easier to keep it more humid. It's probably more humid in here than it would be in a typical home.
Oh, absolutely. When I water in here, we have steam pipes. There's steam coming up everywhere. We have a mist bench for propagating, for making new plants for cuttings. So that's always letting off some moisture. Another cool thing we have in here are staghorn ferns, which is in the epiphyte as well. We get the name because the fronds look like horns of a stag, which is pretty cool. A lot of people love those plants. In here we have a couple of house plants that I highly recommend for your home. This is Zamia folia, or ZZ plant. You can leave these. These can take abuse. They can take overwatering, underwatering. This plant is amazing. The only care would be like wiping the leaves every once in a while to keep dust off of them. But you can leave it dry for a month and it still look like this. Another plant is peperonia. This is a peperonia. There are many different varieties. It's a great house plant. This one as well can take a lot of dry. It's actually barely wilting a little bit right now, but that's fine because it's winter, but this is completely dry. There is no moisture in there, and the plant is still very somewhat happy, on the verge of needing water, but it's a very easy one to care for as well.